Right now you're experiencing reality. At least you think you are. But what if everything you're sensing, the screen in front of you, the chair you're sitting on, the thoughts running through your head, what if it's all code? Not metaphorically, actually code. The wildest part isn't whether we're in a simulation. It's that if we are, you'd have no way to tell the difference. And that changes everything about what it means to be real. You've probably had moments where reality felt glitchy, déjà vu so strong you could swear you'd lived that exact second before. Coincidences so precise they felt orchestrated, that weird sensation when you walk into a room and forget why you're there, like someone cleared your task list. Most people brush these off. Brain hiccups, nothing to worry about. But what if they're not errors at all? What if they're exactly what you'd expect from a system running at the edge of its processing power? Think about how video games work. When you're playing, the world feels complete, but the game only renders what you're looking at. Turn around, and the details behind you might not even exist until you look back. Your brain does something similar. It fills in gaps constantly, creates continuity where there are just fragments. You don't see in real time. There's a processing lag of about 80 milliseconds between light hitting your retina and your brain constructing what you think you're seeing. You're always living in the past, watching a reconstruction. And that's just the beginning. The simulation hypothesis isn't some fringe internet theory. Nick Bostrom, a philosopher at Oxford, published a paper in 2003 laying out the logic. His argument goes like this. If a civilization becomes advanced enough to run simulations of conscious beings, and if they run many such simulations, then statistically, you're almost certainly in one of the simulations rather than the original reality. One base reality. Billions, maybe trillions of simulated realities. Do the math. Elon Musk thinks there's a 1 in billions chance we're in base reality. Not because he has proof, because once you understand the logic, it's hard to argue with. If we don't destroy ourselves first, we'll eventually build simulations advanced enough to house conscious entities. We're already on that path. Video games get more realistic every year. AI gets smarter. Virtual reality gets more immersive. Zoom out 1,000 years, 10,000 years. What's to stop us, or someone else, from creating worlds indistinguishable from this one? And here's where physics stops making sense. You know the double slit experiment, right? You fire tiny particles at a barrier with 2 slits. When nobody's watching which slit they go through, the particles act like waves, going through both slits at once. But the moment you measure them, the moment someone observes which path they take, they suddenly choose one slit, one path. Reality literally changes based on whether you're looking at it. That's not a metaphor. That's what actually happens. And it's exactly how you'd program a simulation. Don't waste processing power rendering things nobody's observing. Your entire experience of the world might be reality-conserving resources. When you're not looking at something, it might not exist in any meaningful way. The universe running on the same principle as a video game. Render what's needed, leave the rest undefined. The universe also has hard limits. Maximum speed, the speed of light. Minimum size, the Planck length, below which space itself becomes meaningless. Energy in atoms, quantized, coming in discrete packets like pixels. These aren't just quirks, they're exactly what you'd expect if reality had resolution limits. But if we are in a simulation, who's running it, and why? Maybe it's our descendants, running ancestor simulations. Maybe it's an alien civilization, treating us like an experiment. Maybe it's something we can't even conceptualize, the way an ant can't conceptualize the internet. You could be part of a student's homework assignment in some higher reality. Or maybe you're just background filler in someone else's story. And here's what doesn't get talked about enough. If we're in a simulation, the rules aren't fixed. Whoever's running this could change everything. Your memories, the laws of physics, yesterday itself. Philosopher Bertrand Russell proposed this in 1921. What if the world was created last Thursday, complete with fossils, history books, and your memories of breakfast? You can't disprove it. Every piece of evidence you could gather would be part of the same fabrication. Everything you think you know about yourself, your past, your identity, all of it could be pre-installed false memories in a universe that's only minutes old, which means the person you were yesterday might not have existed. The childhood you remember might never have happened. You could be experiencing your first actual moments of existence right now, with a whole lifetime of fake memories making you believe you've been here all along. Your entire life might be a backstory loaded at runtime, and you'd never know. But here's what's strange. If the simulation is perfect, if you can't tell the difference, then functionally, it is real. Pain still hurts, joy still feels good, relationships still matter to you. The philosopher Philip K. Dick once said, "Reality is that which, when you stop believing in it, doesn't go away." By that definition, even a simulation is real enough. You can't opt out. You can't think your way into base reality. So maybe the question isn't, is this real? Maybe it's, does realness matter? Philosophers have wrestled with this for centuries. Descartes tried to find something he could know for certain and landed on, "I think, therefore I am." But even that doesn't hold up here. Your thoughts could be simulated too. What you experience as consciousness might just be an emergent property of sufficiently complex code. For some people, this is liberating. If nothing is ultimately real, then suffering isn't real. Failure isn't real. Death might just be logging out. But for others, it's paralyzing. If your choices are predetermined by an algorithm, if your thoughts are just subroutines executing, then free will is an illusion. You're not making decisions. You're watching yourself make decisions that were already coded into you. Love, art, meaning, all of it reduces to computation. But a simulated person experiencing simulated suffering is still experiencing suffering. The label doesn't change the experience. The categorization doesn't erase the feeling, which brings you back to where you started. If you found out tomorrow, with absolute certainty, that this is a simulation, would you actually live differently? Be honest. Would you stop caring about your relationships because they're just code? Would you quit your job because your achievements are happening in a constructed reality? Or would you keep living exactly the same way because, simulation or not, this is the only experience you have? Most people wouldn't change anything, because even if this is a simulation, it's your simulation. Your experiences are real to you. Calling it code doesn't make it hurt less or matter less. But here's what does change. You can't unknow this possibility now. Every moment has this small asterisk next to it. Every choice, every relationship, every emotion comes with a quiet whisper. What if none of this is real? You can ignore it, push it down, live like it doesn't matter. But it's there, permanent, waiting. There's also something strangely comforting about the idea though. If we're in a simulation, that means we're not alone in the universe. Someone or something advanced enough to create this exists. We're not the random accident of a meaningless cosmos. We're intentional, even if that intention is just someone's curiosity. And if reality can be programmed, maybe death isn't the end. Maybe consciousness persists outside the simulation. Maybe you wake up somewhere else when this ends. Or maybe not. The simulation hypothesis doesn't answer anything. It just relocates the mystery. If we're in a simulation, who created the simulators? And if they're in a simulation, who created theirs? You're still left with the same fundamental question. Why is there something instead of nothing? It doesn't solve that. It just adds more layers. The wildest part isn't whether we're in a simulation. It's that if we are, you'd have no way to tell the difference. Maybe that's the point. Maybe the question was never meant to be answered. Maybe it's meant to sit with you, quietly unsettling, making you look at the world just a little differently. Because whether this is base reality or the billionth nested simulation, you're still here. You're still experiencing something. And that something, whatever it is all you'll ever have. So what do you do with that? You could spend your life searching for glitches, looking for proof, trying to hack your way out. You could spiral into paralysis, questioning every choice. Or you could do something harder, Accept the uncertainty and live with intention anyway, knowing full well that your intentions might be code, your free will might be an illusion, and your entire existence might end the moment someone turns off a machine you'll never see. That's the real test, not whether you're in a simulation, but whether you can build a meaningful life inside the possibility that nothing is ultimately real. Because in the end, real or simulated, this is the only reality you'll ever know. And it's happening right now. The simulation hypothesis doesn't free you from anything. It doesn't doom you to anything. It just reminds you that reality, whatever it is stranger than you thought. And you're part of that strangeness, wondering, questioning, trying to make sense of a universe that might not make sense at all. Maybe that's enough.